Hello and welcome to the Startup Booster webinar. Today, we would like to share with you valuable information on the 5 ways to fund your business. And we are the team of the Startup Booster, Yelena and Daria. Who we are? Here is Yelena speaking. I'm the expert in psychology of excellence and entrepreneur growth. And let me introduce my colleague to you. Daria Yegorina is the international business consultant and bootstrapping startup advisor. Daria, are you there right now?
Yeah, I am. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the webinar.
So let's get started. And this webinar will really help you to get the basics of the funding opportunities, so where to get the funds from to finance your startup. And we have also prepared a surprise for you. We would like to give you the 3 prizes, and only those of you who have been attentive during the whole webinar will be able to answer the question which we are going to ask in the end of the webinar, and you will be able to get those prizes. So the first prize is the 1 hour of personal business consulting by Skype with the Startup Booster team at the value of €200. The second prize is €100 voucher for Startup Black Belt program. And the third prize is the free ticket for exclusive webinar Get Funding for Your Startup at the value of €57. So please be very attentive and enjoy the webinar. Let's move on.
So, hi, Daria is here, and we're going to go really through the interesting story of how to get funding for your startup. So, first of all, I would like to give you some business plan tips, because business plan is the essential part of getting the funding, and the business plan is the roadmap between the investor, founding team, and this is the whole process you need to get through. So business plan is one of the least important factors in raising the money, as I said. And if investor is actually moving towards any positive decision, then the business plan only reinforces this feeling that was not responsible to make in the case of its own, or when you are, for example, trying to get funding just talking to him. So the investor is actually can be moving towards two sides, as we can imagine. It's negative decision like not funding you, or positive decision funding you. And if he is hesitating and not sure, the business plan is the one that will be able to kind of push the investor towards what you want him to do. So what the investor will always ask for more than the business plan that you have. And the important thing here for you is to make sure that you are providing all the essential information, and you will be able to back it up with the facts. So therefore, after talking to you, after reading your business plan, and after listening to your pitch, the investor will do the due diligence process. Make sure that your business plan actually reflects the reality, and the investor, whatever he sees in your business plan and whatever he likes in your business plan, will get on board during the due diligence process. Second part is the founding team. The founding team is something that also helps to and connected with the business plan, because writing the business plan enables your founding team to work together, and that forces your group in particular to address the issues that might be overlooked during the thinking process, or how you want to implement the idea. So business plan will help to structure. So think of your business plan as the roadmap for your business. And you need to assess basically your company potential in your business plan, because this is the vital part that will help to the investor to make the decision. So what needs to be actually in the business plan, apart from the structure? So what needs to be structured there by every single part that you're describing in your business plan, like going to the market, like customer, and like potential. So what is the initial investment will your business require? This is one of the important questions that needs to be replied to in your business plan. How much control are you willing to give to the investors if they decide to go for you. When will the business turn into a profit? Think about the forecasting the break-even point and what needs to be done to achieve this break-even point. When can investors, including you, expect the return on their money? Think of that you need to provide the fact that the investor will get at least 7 to 10 times more from what they invest in you. So what are the projected profits of your business over time? Obviously, everybody understands that your business plan is just the projection, it's just the assumptions that you can make. But the way you make these assumptions will influence significantly on if they make the decision of investing in you. Will you be able to devote yourself full time for your business financially? And what kind of salary and profit distribution you can expect to take home? And what are the chances that the business will fail? And also what happens if it does, and what is the backup plan that you have in your mind to recover it if it does. So, and do you have the alternative plan of developing your business in case that something goes wrong? This is everything that needs to be outlined in the business plan. um, and I will give you some tips to help you win the funding. That's like simple but really straightforward tips. You need to keep those tips in mind and while doing the business plan. So spend extra time working on the executive summary. This is like, imagine this is your profile picture on your social media. If they like it at the beginning, because it's the very first page, they will be able to and be interested to read it through. Make sure that your business plan is complete, because you will be surprised how many business plans are submitted with a lot of important data missing. So think of, put yourself in the investor's shoes and think what information they will be looking for. And they will be looking for the information like who is the team? Are they able to execute what they are writing about? Are they able to get the return on investment? And are they able to prove that there is a backup plan if something goes wrong? Also, be able to back up anything you have on paper if you ask for more details. We are coming back to the due diligence I was talking about, and make sure whatever you write in your business plan, you will be able to back up with the facts. Okay, so, and we are moving on, talking about some business proposition. Business proposition is the vital part. This is your business plan. This is something you put on plate for the investor. So describe at the high level what are you offering, what is the problem, and what solution you are solving with this problem. What solution you're proposing to solve this problem. How will your business plan work? So what will be the action plan behind that? And how do you prove your success? Also, make sure that the market opportunity you are describing there is large enough, and it's also really realistic rather than being a kind of a mysterious one or something coming from your dreams. Think of the competition. You need to know who they are, and you need to know what differs you from them. So how are you different? Also, how much money and time have you already invested in your plan, in executing your business idea? This is important because if you are not investing neither your time nor your money and just offering something on paper, um, that has a little chance to be funded as well. Think of development and finance strategy used in your business plan. Also, what do you expect your business to become in several years? Yelena was already talking about that many times, and I would like to highlight you and invite you to visit one of the recordings of the Startup Pie webinar, where she exactly describes what and how you need to do to be able to create this understanding from the other person reading what you wrote, in terms of your business opportunity and how you plan to execute. So let's talk about the funding strategy. This is also an important part. Think of your funding strategy. What I mean by funding strategy, this is basically something you're willing to give up based on what you're gonna be offered. Imagine it's like in the market. Nobody's gonna give you money just to give you money because you're nice, because you're cool, or something else. Think of uh, keeping in mind one of the important informations. You need to offer something back, and it's no matter what kind of strategy you select for your funding. One of those that we're gonna outline and speak about today in a moment, but it's also what you're willing to give back in any type of funding that you're gonna access. Think of what you can offer to the other side that is willing to help you with what you don't have. And we're gonna talk now about this crucial part of our webinar about the ways of funding. And the next surprise we have for you today is there gonna be more than 5 ways of of funding. So we're gonna go through several of them. Obviously, that's not all of them. However, we will talk about 6 of them today. So first one is consider your niche. What I mean by this is that who you are, in which status you are, and what is special about your idea. Think of that could be the case that you are the single mom, or you're the female entrepreneur, or maybe you're a student, or maybe you're a veteran, or somebody in the very niche type of entrepreneurship, and you will be able to access specific grants tailored to the specific business owners or specific business ideas. Think of if you are doing a social entrepreneurship idea or something connected with helping to others or a nonprofit, that could be also the type of a niche grant or niche funding. The next one is grant. Look locally or search for the team supported for your specific idea. When it comes to locating the financing, obviously nothing beats the grant. So money provided to you, they are free of charge. You can use them. Sometimes, and in majority of the cases, there will be no equity taken for that. Grants are available based on the type of your business, as well of the demographics. As the demographics, I would outline one of the grants that is given, for example, by the Irish government every year for the startups located outside the European Union. It's absolutely free to participate. You just need to submit your pitch. You just need to submit your a little bit information about your company, and you will be invited to participate in that completely free of charge if you're selected to pitch and then to move to Ireland and have the business started here. This is an example of the demographical type of the grant. There are also grants for the minority business owners, or women, or single mothers, and more and more and more. And in order to apply it, you will just have to dust off your keyboard and start typing. And you will find a lot of the grant programs that do not require even extensive proposals, and you will get in the where you detail every aspect of your organization for the first primary round. Another way of funding is entering the contest. So perhaps that's another sign of growing support for the small business startups, as because there are a lot of number of contests growing and encouraging innovation and being offered by governmental and also private institutions. For example, Amazon Web Services Startup Challenge provides annual rewards between 50K plus 50K of Amazon services to business each year. And this is also the chance for you to get a deep dive, to participate in the contest, doing some maybe tiny part of the questionnaire, or for being selected, and then pitch and then get funded. And let's talk about other ways of funding. Another way, which is really good, is the crowdfunding. Crowdfunding started growing like significantly in these years, and there are supporters in small and medium business. And the only thing you need to do is to understand the main crowdfunding goals. The two main goals for the crowdfunding can be basically used is to first get funded for your business. That's really suitable in the many cases for the retail type of the business or business to consumer, or You can also get exposure and get engaged with your first potential customers that will like your idea and will be first bakers for your idea and will be able to support you not only monetarily but also get some. You will get the chance to get the first customers, and if your product is suitable for or scalable or suitable for like lasting or repeatable purchases, that's the perfect thing to go for. Think of different crowdfunding platforms, as right now there are not only business to consumer retail type of platforms. You can also go for the investment crowdfunding. You can go for some specific vertical crowdfunding, like for the immobility or like for um, industrial and so on. There are so many crowdfunding platforms on music and for the books and whatever you like. You just need to have a deep dive in the internet, have a look, and think in first place what is your primarily goal for the crowdfunding. One more way is to get the angel investor on board. Normally, angel investors they have money. They don't invest millions, although it depends on the type of the business and the investor himself, but they can invest sometimes millions, but normally they are going for small amounts. If your business is good fit for the angel investor, or if you want bigger amount, you can go for the group of angel investors. That's the place to be. That's the place to go. You are more likely to get also the mentor on board, which is good for your business, especially if you don't have much experience in leading your own company. The only point you need to consider is that angel investors are normally going for the first business they really sure about, and secondly the business where they would be referred to invest. So let us say you participated in the accelerator or in some program and you will be referred to the angel investor, or you've been selected by the startup black belt program from Startup Booster, where you will be able to get referred to the angel investor as well. And the bonus type of ways of funding is getting a loan. There are so many suitable loans and micro loans, and it depends on the type of the organization offering. So loan can be done by the bank, or loan can be done by the governmental institution. Especially the microfinancing is available at the governmental level. If we take, let us say, Ireland as an example, in Ireland there are a lot of microfinance loans available for startup businesses as well for the SMEs. And one more thing I wanted to talk about is the steps in the funding process. Just go really briefly and quickly, and uh, so you understand what it works. So we were talking about the business plan, which can be done in the form of the PowerPoint presentation. There are several tips for that, and we have a deep dive in that one with our funding webinar, where we go in details of everything and anything. So you come out of it totally knowledgeable about the funding, how to prepare the presentation, how to prepare the pitch, and so on. So the main steps would be business plan, then comes the due diligence, and then comes the question how much your company costs, or what is the real worth of your company. Then you would need to negotiate the term sheet. This is to briefly tell you, there's a kind of a non-binding agreement setting forth the basic terms and conditions under which investment will be made. To briefly tell you, it's like investors are telling, okay, we are 5 investors. How much in total are you willing to give us in terms of shares of your company? And we're going to spread that and put that on the paper so we all know who is buying what in your company. Then it comes, we're going to talk about the common stock and the preferred stock in more detail um, in our funding webinar. But it's the groundwork where the parties involved in the transactional agreements for the what is going to be exchanged in terms of what they're gonna get what they're gonna get back. And one more point is the preferred stock is what is going to be selected from the assets of the company, and it's all put in the term sheet from the company that is going to go for funding your company. In many cases, the majority of these process, with the common stock and the preferred stock, is done through the venture capital company, and it's rarely used with the points I've selected for talking out today, for the funding ways. However, sometimes you might come across those when talking to the angel investor. I give my word to Elena.
Thank you very much, Daria. Thank you for the great input here. It was really, really very informative. Well, we have just 30 minutes for you guys today, and we packed a lot of information into those 30 minutes. So now coming back to the contest, you have been listening very attentively, hopefully, and you remember about the three prizes. So the first one you can see just above on the top. It's the 1 hour of consulting with the Startup Booster team at the value of €200. The second prize is the voucher at the value of €100 for the Startup Black Belt program. And the third prize is the free ticket to the webinar, which is going to take place in a couple of weeks. This is the fundraising webinar, and it is valued at €57. So the prices range from €57 to €200 today. And the question is, apart from funding your startup, what for can you use at a crowdfunding platform? So apart from funding your startup, what for can you use a crowdfunding platform? Please write your answer in the chat or by email, contact@startupbooster.com. You've got about 3 minutes for that, so hurry up and first come, first served. We have only 3 places. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to give you, a little bit more information about the upcoming events of the Startup Booster. We will have the webinar, Get Funding for Your Startup, which will take place on Saturday, the 2nd of April. And it will be a 90-minute webinar where we will definitely have much more time to share the most valuable pieces of information with you. The investment for the webinar is only €57, and we have only 20 places for the webinar. So hurry up and book your place at startupbooster.com/events. And the very first event you are going to see is the Get Funding for Your Startup webinar. And let me give the word to Daria for a couple of minutes. She can give you more details because she is the one who is going to give you the information there, and I will be the moderator like today.
So just to give a brief overview of what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a drill down into the other ways of, we're gonna drill down in the ways that I outlined today, obviously for the funding in more detail. We're gonna talk about the bootstrapping strategy. We're gonna go through different terms and steps in the process of getting funded for your startup. And you can ask any questions during the webinar, and I will also give you the tips, and we send every participant the list checklist on how to prepare the best presentation, where you go on how to pitch, what font to select, like everything and anything that you can imagine. So you have a winning pitch competition there. And the whole webinar will be basically centered not only on the ways, but also on the how the process looks like when you are already in the stage 2 after you being selected, and you're going through the process of reading your business plan, making the due diligence work for you, how to behave, with whom to talk, how to build the relationship, and so on. So it's really useful webinar for anybody who is interested in getting funded or is already in the process, and you will get the information from the insider who was me, who was working in the investment industry, and who was talking to many startups like your startup is, and doing the pre-selection and so on. So we'll be able to give you what is the attention paid at, and what the investors are looking to get. Do we have any replies so far, Elena?
So let me check the emails, and you have the definitely the Q&A field open. So we will split, right? I'll be checking the emails, and Daria will be checking the Q&A section. So just give me 1 minute. You still have about 30 seconds. Yes, we are getting some answers by emails, as you can hear. Okay, first of all, we go for the chat answers. Are there any answers on your side, Daria? Yes. Wow, perfect.
Um,
Hello.
yeah, we have here the answer that to get funded, and another one saying to find the investor. Do you have anything closer to the answer that we need?
Yes, yes. I've just got an email from Elizabeth Fruwith, and she wrote, "Getting first customers." And this is just perfect because this is actually the answer. So the first prize goes to Elizabeth Fruwith. Hopefully, I pronounced the name correctly. Um, and she is from Munich. So
Okay,
applause.
congratulations.
Yes, the package, the 1 hour of free consulting with the Startup Booster team goes to Elizabeth. So let's summarize. So basically, then we don't have any other correct answers, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Um, yes. So then she's the only winner for today, and the two prizes are staying with us. So hopefully next time you guys are more attentive, and I'll get in touch with Elizabeth by email. She sends her contact details, and we will arrange a Skype call with her. So
Perfect.
yes, thank you very much for your attention, and we are looking forward to seeing you at the next funding webinar, which will take place on April 2nd on Saturday. We wish you the lovely Easter time if you are celebrating Easter, and see you next time. Bye
See
bye.
you. Bye bye.